Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is Maro, welcome to my channel. So today I have Anchorage replay that I wanted to share with you guys. I went through the grind for the US Dockyard event. I used doubloons to get the first two stages, and then I went through the rest of it. There was a fair amount of grind, but I don't think it was that bad given that I was able to finish it, so there is something to be said about that. In the end, I did revert either through, I think it was maybe co-op, trying to get some of these things done quickly. Nevertheless, I got Anchorage and I was pretty keen to take it out for a spin and see how it compares to the other US cruisers at the tier 8. Anchorage, premium tier 8 US cruiser, and it's the first one to have smoke. So I think before I get into the replay, maybe just to compare briefly Anchorage with Baltimore. Baltimore is the Tech 3 tier 8 US cruiser. There's a lot of similarities, but then there are also some very important differences. Now, I think in terms of guns, Anchorage has 12 8-inch guns. They shoot the same type of HE shell as Baltimore, but I think when it comes to AP, it's closer to the other premium tier 8 cruiser in the US 3, which is Wichita, exactly. Um, so 12 guns, but slower reloading guns. So while Baltimore has 9 guns that reload every 10 seconds, Anchorage has 12 guns that reload every 15.5 seconds. As a result, even your HE DPM, and in case of HE, it's the same shell for Baltimore and Anchorage, is a little DPM is less. So Anchorage DPM is 130,000 and Baltimore is 151. So that's just under 20% or so, maybe. Or I guess depending which way you go, it's 15% less than Baltimore. Now, in terms of AP, the difference is even greater. In case of Anchorage, the AP output is around 214,000, while Baltimore is kicking out 270,000. And two differences, right? One is the reload. So while Anchorage has 12 guns, the reload has been so slowed down that it really can't make up for the fact that Baltimore is able to do it every 10 seconds. And then the AP that Baltimore uses has better penetration, has higher per shell value. It's 5,000 versus 4,600 for Anchorage, but it's faster. So in terms of range, it's very similar. 15.8 versus 15.6, so it doesn't make a difference. But the slow speed of reload is somewhat off-putting. 15.5 seconds is a long time. Something closer to 12 or 13 seconds probably would be better. Now, not only does Anchorage get smoke, it also gets torps. It gets pretty much fletch torps. It's 10.5 kilometer range, 66 knot speed, 19,000 damage. It has two 4 torp launchers, one on each side, and they do a lot of damage, but I've played maybe 8 or 9 games, and I think I may have sunk one ship with torps. Now that could have to do with the way I play the ship, or as I'm trying to kind of grasp with the ship, so not taking full advantage. I'm just saying the torps are good, but I haven't been able to get as much damage out of them as I hoped. Now, I think moving on to AA defense, Anchorage, I think is rated maybe 44, 45, a lot less than Baltimore, and you do feel that. Your ability to really take planes down is a lot less, and you are tier 8, so you will encounter tier 10 CVs as well, and with the AA rating, it's maybe adequate for tier 6 CV. You're already underpowered tier 8 and tier 10, not in a good position to do anything about it. So that's a minus in comparison to Baltimore. In terms of hit points, they're pretty close, 41.8 versus 42.4, so not really a big difference there. In terms of armor, similar, 27 millimeter armor at the bow and at the stern. However, Anchorage's citadel is a lot more raised. So while in case of Baltimore, the kind of the middle portion just under the superstructure, it would be just above the waterline, and then the citadel extends underneath the front turrets and the back turrets, but further under the water. In case of Anchorage, the central part under the superstructure is a lot higher, and then the part that goes under the turrets, front and back, is maybe at the water level. So the ship is, very squishy, especially if it's hit from the side. In terms of concealment, again, slightly worse concealment, 10.7 versus 9.9 in case of Baltimore. That could come a little lower, but it's around 700 or 800 meter difference. And then in terms of speed, you're looking at 33 knots for Anchorage, 32.5 Baltimore. But in terms of turning circle, 800 versus 730, Baltimore is ahead. And then in terms of rudder shift time, 9 seconds versus 6.3. So it's 2.7 seconds longer than Baltimore. So the ship gets torps, that's an advantage. It also gets smoke. You can have 3 consumables with the superintendent. It's the 30 seconds to 30-second action time, 140-second dispersion time. So it's good. Smoke. Once you're in smoke, I think the visibility is reduced to 8 kilometers. So if the ship is within 8, they will be able to detect you. And I guess your concealment is around 10.7 or so. So there's a little window there that you can use that smoke. But the ship gives up a lot to be able to do that. It gives up DPM. It gives up protection in terms of the citadel arrangement. It gives up AA defense. It gives up concealment. It gives up maneuverability. And it gives up radar. What it gets is smoke and torps. Now smoke, very helpful. You do depend on others for spotting as usual, but it gives you an ability to create your own concealment on the open water, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to take advantage of this Ohio and use my HE, but 12 HE shells and still very few hits, very little damage generated. I mean, the ship is just going nose in, and every time you fire, it's another 15.5 seconds. So it does take a long time for it to come on board. And I think this is maybe a good example where you don't have a high rate of fire to really maximize the smoke. You have smoke around 100 seconds, which is enough maybe for 7 salvos if somebody's spotting. And then obviously depends how they're lined up. Are they going bow in, and what amount of damage you can inflict. Torps, obviously, they're good for protection if somebody's rushing you. And hydro that you have also, right? It's good to see if somebody's around. But again, 8 kilometers, it's long. It's far, and it gives the opportunity to other ships, especially destroyers, to sneak up on you and negate the fact that you have the smoke and you're concealed. So something that you always have to keep in mind. So slower ship, kind of harder to maneuver. I mean, 12 guns, you get the US cruiser higher AP angle. So I think instead of from 45 to 60, the ricochet doesn't kick in until 60, till 67.5. So especially when it comes to cruisers, if they are more open to you using your AP, you can do some serious damage, as you can to battleships if they are broadside shooting primarily, not even upper belt, but superstructure area in order to do damage, because in terms of penetration, you would really have to get super close to a battleship to start scoring pen hits or, citadels. It's highly unrealistic that you'd be in a position to do that. So here, Okinawa, not a lot of cover. I went to what is that? ACAP, trying to see if I can use the island cover and use HE, use the destroyer and the cruiser that were there to kind of spot. However, they overextended and red team really had a lot of ships on that side, and um, they just went too far and got eliminated. You saw Ohio was pushing. Um, no longer there. The battleship Hien and me and the CV were able to take him out. And our team has been making a lot of progress on what is that? CCAP. So now here I know that Minotaur is there, and I know he's sitting in smoke, and I'm close. I have Hydra. I have 12 guns that have loaded AP. So this is one of those rare opportunities where you can take advantage of the situation, assuming that he doesn't really have visibility, and he shouldn't. I guess 1DD was seen further up, so this should be a good time to catch him unaware. And these are one of those rare moments that are so enjoyable. I look at him sitting there trying to turn his guns, trying to shoot, but by the time he comes around, it's just too late. So this was good, and I guess sometimes the ship can be used for this. Obviously, getting this close, not being spotted, is not going to happen a lot. But having the good AP shells with the improved pen angles on the AP is something that one can definitely take advantage of. Now, I haven't been doing that as much. I've really been kind of trying to see if I can, maybe use the HE output on the battleships, use the smoke, and try to kind of stack up my damage that way. But I think using AP and trying to take advantage of the situations where the cruisers are even somewhat exposed on the broadside, taking advantage of that improved AP angle is key to really kind of make a difference and I think stack up some damage. Now here, I went into this cap, the destroyer Mogador is taking advantage of the situation to spray me with HE. I see the CV, and I think you could see my previously how weak my AA is, and given where I am and I'm trying to cap, I'm not really in the best position here, so I take a lot more damage than I should. So I wanted to take advantage of the smoke. I see the DDs there, trying to use him for spotting and just inflict some damage on the CV given how close he is. Here I get pretty lucky on this CV drop. That really had nothing to do with me doing anything, it's just the torps went on both sides of me. So I get like one good salvo because I had AP, but you can see I'm already detected, and I'm detected because the DD has closed in on less than 8k, and this negates basically my smoke, and I've lost quite a lot of health points here, and I'm basically reversing, trying to hide behind the island from Mogador, who's scoring quite a lot of damage against me. I think the Hindenburg, who had a very good game and who did really well, joined me from from CCAP, and he's engaging the. Not only did he take the CV, he's also engaging the destroyer, giving me a chance to recuperate somewhat. And now I'm looking for an opportunity to, come out of the island and see if I can put some of these 12 guns on Mogador. But overall, the ship, somewhat different gameplay. I'm not a really big fan of the US cruisers. I don't play them well. I don't like them very much. Here you have additional flexibility, ability to make your own smoke and provide cover. You need your team to help you with that. You can't do it on your own. The torps that you have are good. But it's kind of hard for you to really close in and use them if the situation presents itself. Yes, go ahead and do it, but that's not going to happen that often. But you do give up a lot. And if you like your US cruisers, I would be surprised if you like Anchorage more. If you like your British cruisers, I'd be surprised if you like Anchorage more. And if you like your Japanese cruisers' ability to kind of send torps and, light them on fire and experience that maneuverability and flexibility, I doubt that you're gonna like Anchorage. So I don't know in the future if the ship maybe gets a few more buffs. I think that would be good, at least from my perspective. But that's all there is for now. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I wish you all the luck on the high seas. That's it for me. Maro out.